Hi guys, welcome to this system. It's actually not in order yet. Scale right. So we need to copy paste everything from the etc scale. Control A, Control C to here, Control V, replace all. Why? Because all the code is in there. So fish is not normally looking like this, but it is looking now like this. So that's our code, fish, team tweaked rice, whatever you want to call it. This is our look, right? The fish look. Now, the topic of the video is, well, first of all, we're on LTS. LTS means this is the SSD with almost no software. And if you have a look, there is a lot of software, right? After any clean install, I'll get all my stuff in with a script from, yes, you know, from the ArcoLinux Nemesis. So I ran that already. So on the data there, github.com/ArcoLinux ArcoLinux Nemesis, I ran a few of these scripts and I end up with something I like, right? With icons that are different, that we've created ourselves. Tutorials are on there. And if you want to know what it is, you can have a look at this. Edu Papyrus Dark Teller. That's what you're looking at. Topic of the video is my fourth attempt to make a video. Always something that is bugging me, that is not perfect, right? Last time it was GitHub who did not download the code. But a few hours ago we were discussing the Manjaro developers and Garuda developers in EndeavourOS. We're talking about how we create our ISOs and how different our ways are. And in there we shared a link, shared lots of links, but there was a link shared which I want to explain, because somebody yesterday asked about, can I do this and this and that when the ISO builds up? So on ArcoLinux we try to teach you Linux, and then Arch, and then ArcoLinux, right? And then ArcoLinux in that order. So an ArcoLinux info is where you get all the information. The ArcoLinux ISO is where you learn all to well, here as well, to build our ISOs without too much of changes, small changes. But ArcoLinux ISO is really from scratch, right? So Carly is really from scratch. There is ALCI to learn from, there's AA to learn from, and there is so much more to learn from EndeavourOS. Yes, we're going to build an ISO from EndeavourOS, from GitHub. Well, it's actually EndeavourOS, themes, and GitHub. I think that will be the best hit. Let's see if this is, yeah, this is it. EndeavourOS ISO. So that's the URL he gave me, Joe. And then you read, right? Can we build an ISO? Can we change some things in here and make, I don't know, Firefox on there? Maybe it's already on there, or Vivaldi, or Brave, or Tor browser, or any application that you want to have. Can we put it on the ISO? I suppose so. So let's have a look. You just read everything, but here it starts for me. How to build the ISO. You need to use an installed EndeavourOS system or any Arch-based system, with EndeavourOS repository. That's a given, right? The packages can't come from ArcoLinux, the packages can't come from ArcoLinux, they need to come from EndeavourOS repos. So first of all, we need to get the repositories in on this ArcoLinux machine, or this ArcoLinux machine, or anything else ArcoLinux based. Okay, so some phases will just follow here. The tutorial, whoa, that tutorial will follow the lines, but let's start with the line number 1. How do I get the repositories in, the packages in, on my ArcoLinux based system? Okay, here are the mirrors. Here's the latest up-to-date EndeavourOS mirror list. Go to raw. This is the latest list. So Control C. Where does one put the mirror list? Computer, file system, etc, pacman.d. Here's the ArcoLinux mirror list, Celtic mirror list, so Garuda, and the mirror list from Arch. Right mouse click, open folder as root. And then you have here the possibility to say, I'm going to create myself a document. EndeavourOS, no typos allowed, of course, mirror list. So EndeavourOS mirror list, okay, double check, and Control V, save. So I have told if there is question about EndeavourOS, that's where the servers are. But is Pacman aware already that we need to have the packages? Pacman.conf, no, he's not aware yet that there is something else. Now we can do this in ArcoLinux Tweak tool as well, but I always like to teach without tools, because tools make people stupid. It's always going to the files and there it happens, right? The rest is a graphical user interface that will add 3 lines. You can copy paste 3 lines. Do you need an app for that? No. So this is the Pacman configuration, and all we need is this. Control C. Common sense better than a tool. So we're pointing to the correct file. See that the typo, there are no typos or anything, and now need to save it. Control S. This is Sublime text, so it pops up. What's your root password? It's done. It's there. And we test it. Update. Oh my god, right? Update. There will be differences, as you see already. We have the same packages. We're all on Arch. We're all looking at AOR and AOR packages, and we built them, and it's gonna conflict. So we're gonna need to be smart. And we need to be smart. We go to PAMAC. Another way of looking at things. EndeavourOS. Here's the calamares, bash, downgrade. But as you see, these red things, they're actually from us. It says EndeavourOS, but we have it. So it will clash. It will conflict with each other. So that's not a good idea. We need to watch out for that. But hey, right, we have the ability to get the EndeavourOS packages. That's line number 1. As this. As the installer packages and needed dependencies will get, okay. Sudo pacman. Control C, Control T, Control Shift V, enter. Everything is installed or not. It will install whatever is missing. This is again the XS, which means nothing, and an LTS kernel. Then later on I installed the ArcoLinux Nemesis. That's that. Maybe we should boot a little bit here and then a little bit there. What else? We need to git clone things. We need to get this thing that we're looking at. Control C. We don't need this anymore. Let's just do it like this. And then desktop, open terminal, Control Shift V, git clone. Let's hope that its speed is okay. The speed is okay. Last time I stopped the video because of the speed, right? Then, next thing, probably open a terminal here. Next thing we should do is go inside EndeavourOS. Yep, I'm in there. And then sudo fix permissions. Control C, Control Shift V, sudo fix permissions. Of course, you already have taken a look of what's going on my machine, right? It's gonna say everything is root, and then define a little bit more precise which permissions he wants, right? So, okay. So that's that. Then we want to build things. Sudo make arch iso. But like I said, we have to think a little bit further. We're not on EndeavourOS. We're not. One of the things that matters, and let's show you, or not, let's see, pacman.conf is still open, so not, I guess. I wanted to type Ctrl-Alt-T and pacman so you know it exists, right? I always use this one and pacman and I go in there. But pacman Sublime Text was still open, so fine. Sublime Text. Perl. Color, right? Color in my life. We don't want to have any conflicts with ArcoLinux repos. So we're gonna say whatever, right? Now there might be a faster way. Sometimes it pays off to have a look and see if toggle comment is faster, right? If it's working, then fine. So basically we're telling Arch, and Nemesis repo and EndeavourOS. That's all, right? And save. So that's one conflict less, possibility to conflicts, and plus, never forget, the system does not always download things. The system often gets it from the cache, pacman packages. And in here are also my signatures. I'm signing with my key. And so is Joe. Joe is signing with his key. And we're having the same packages. Sounds like a conflicting thing, right? So sudo pacman -s cc. Clean me the cache. Look at all the folders. That was a mistake. So yes, you have to type enter. Yes, enter. So no packages anymore. Everything is coming in, and EndeavourOS packages basically, plus Arch, because ArcoLinux is not there anymore. It's not in pacman anymore. Then we can try this one, but first, right? Since the system we're working on is an ArcoLinux, we need to do something. Here is the package pacman.conf, Ctrl-C, and we put it here, Ctrl-V. And in this profile dev, it's pointing to the AI root file system etc pacman. Get rid of that. Save it. Now the profile defining of definition, or whatever they call it, is pointing to pacman.conf, not inside this one, that one. This is all root. The permissions have been changed. This is not. If we do here ll, everything is cool, but here everything is root. Okay, so now I can try and see if it works, and let's see if it works, and it does, right? So that was the procedure, how to build an EndeavourOS on any Arch Linux based, in particular ArcoLinux, but I thought it through, so get rid of the repositories that might conflict, stick to Arch Linux repos basically, and EndeavourOS. And all the rest, Nemesis repo, ALCI repo, Carly repo, any repo out there for the building, right? Just put a hashtag in front of it so it's not included. Now let's wait for the build, and then we can make immediately a virtual box, although I wonder, I think I need to reboot. I did not do that. I use a template, so I don't need to set everything up again and again and again. Clone. Oh, sorry. Something to teach. Keys, right? Keys. It's always the same thing. Keys. And there's something else to teach you. Sometimes these applications, they mount things, and it stays mounted. And you don't want that. You want to unmount the thing because target is busy, right? And I say, it helps if you just reboot. But who likes to reboot? So sudo unmount and then tab actually, and home, and then well, there he is. Did you see it? That's it. With tab home, Eric, he knows where it is. Boom, it's gone, and I can start again. But First, I need to make sure that a keyring is available. Failed to install the packages. There is a keyring problem. So this thing is a problem. Now, if everything, and that's another issue, right? It's the keyrings always in these key servers, and we don't have control over it, and it don't work. Control Shift C. Keys and keyrings are here, pacman.d, GNU-PG, gpg.conf. That's the important one. In our case, we have all kinds of things, but sometimes we are on Arch, right, or something like that, or we have something to fix it. Little script that says fix, and then tap, and we have here fix pacman key server. Yeah, that's the one, I think. And it's gonna copy paste everything over. Now, of course, nothing happens because something did happen. So you know it's working. Now the one that seems to work for this key, I already know, is just that one. Save. And now some knowledge about keys, right? How do I get the key in? With commands, sudo pacman key, and then something. Tap, all the taps. Okay. I want to receive a key. This looks like a good thing. I want to receive a key. Okay, this one. Control Shift V. Click. There he is, right? EndeavourOS key. It's in, but it's not signed yet. So the same command can be used if you want to, and then L sign key. Enter. Now we can try again. Do we have still a unmount thing? No, we don't have an unmount thing. So arrow up, arrow up, arrow up, arrow up. Go build it again, my friend. Let's hope he knows now. Okay, these packages coming from EndeavourOS have the right key. It's signed with a key. It's for protection. It's the issue for many people who start with ArcoLinux. ArcoLinux, EndeavourOS, Garuda, right? Keys. But as long as we get through it, and you don't have any issue, of course. Okay, so that's done. And let's pause the video here, and we'll come back. Maybe we can immediately do the VirtualBox. Otherwise, I'll do it in 2 videos. But this feels okay, right? You will notice if you are a builder, you will notice that it looks a little bit different, different way of doing things, but it's also a different application. It's the Make Arch ISO. Am I saying it correctly? Desktop. It's the Make Arch ISO, yeah, from EndeavourOS. So there are a few lines in there. So compare with the original one. Where's the original one? In computer. And this might be interesting if you want to change something, right? If you want to say, I would like to do something in the process at some point in time, then it's going to be here. You compare this one with that one, and you'll see there are so many differences. So super F5 is melt, file comparison, easy peasy. Well, like this then, drop it in here. The other one, drop it in there. Where are you? Up. And there are quite a few differences. What they all are, I don't know, right? I'm a noob, but here it is. And then you experiment. You see what's he doing. What could it be? Google, search, find out what does he do. What's the difference? Why did they do it? When do they do it? Because that was a question on someone, and I think Telegram or Discord. He wants to insert some kind of codes at some point in time. This is the process of building the ISO. If you want to do something extra, I say take a look at the code, right? And revisit it until you get it, until you understand this code. I do not get it entirely as well. So it really is learning step by step. So where we are at this point in time, voila, we have Broadcom WM and NVIDIA installed on this thing, so not NVIDIA DKMS. There are so many Lego blocks, right? But you got to choose, you got to decide, what do I want? Oh, look at that. Yeah, so I don't know what I saw there, but NVIDIA DKMS is installed. There are some things here, root packages, could not find read packages. Patching file, we'll see, alright, we'll see. Voila, it's using 8 processors. And we'll have an ISO in no time. Let's pause here. Now, one of the things I discovered as well, and I've played around with it as well, I don't know, a year ago, maybe something like that, is this one, the image tool options. This is something you can play around with, settings that ArcoLinux uses, that I use, that there's so many things possible. I see this is XZ. Let's see if we go to ALCI. Let's do something else, right? Always ArcoLinux. So GitHub ALCI, and see what comes out of it. Yep, not bad. He knows where it is. Arch Linux Calamars installer. So there are so many builds: Zen, Xenmod Edge, the pure Arch then, so nothing really, black screen. LTS hard, so all Linux kernels. And in the profile dev, so this is Arch ISO, the Relang profile dev. I have XZ in this one, and in Carly, GitHub Carly. We have to wait anyway, so we can compare a little bit. Carly 9 is okay. You're already on the correct place to be. Carly 11 is the last one. Arch ISO profile dev. XZ here as well. I think it must be ArcoLinux, or did I change it again? So I was experimenting back in the days with different kind of settings. And maybe we can still see it, because GitHub never forgets anything. Profile dev. So it's still XZ. So I wonder, somewhere in the commits, probably, right, I'll have experimented with the way I compress everything. Oh, we have time. Oh, we're still in December. It was a bit longer ago, like longer ago. Now we're August. So each time an Arch ISO update comes in, each time we need to figure out, is it still working? What did they change? Why did they change it? And all the decisions, the choices, will we follow it or won't we follow it? So maybe as a workflow, because I don't think I will find it. As a workflow, what's interesting to do is the following, but you be my guest to follow me or not. When you see that there's an Arch ISO in, what I do is the following. I open a folder as root, and I say, okay, before the update, right? Before the update, I'll do an Arch ISO, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. and I'll note the number behind it. This is now Arch ISO 61. So when the new update comes in, this will become the Arch ISO 62. So next ISO, I'll do the same. And this gives me with a great overview, because sometimes you think, where did it change? Why do I have this, right? And then you can go in here and compare. You don't need to be root anymore, because otherwise you can change. But voila, did anything change? And then you say everything is the same. All the yellow things are unimportant. That's okay. So voila, you know, of course, copy paste, right? So it is the same. But 63 will come, 64 will come, and you can still follow along through the years what happened to my system, because an ISO builder PC is often something that you keep for several years. Still time to have a look at the Arch ISO. Why did I close it? Because I wanted to check as well there what's the default look, right? What is the default code? So I can check in here, doesn't matter. And here with the profile dev sh. So I must have decided to follow along what Arch ISO gave at some point in time. Maybe I was thinking, can I see it maybe if, or maybe it was still before we had the ArcoLinux XL. Remember we had this change between ArcoLinux and ArcoLinux D and ArcoLinux B, but then we decided to create an ArcoLinux L. If it's before that time, yeah, we don't have it anymore. And cleaning is something I often do. I like to clean, although this can be deleted. 2020, this is one I can delete. Oh, I'm gonna delete something. Yes, I'm so happy I can delete something. Almost done. Forget about the cleaning. Now I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna clean. I can't. I must clean. Voila, it's cleaned. Out of here. So we've got ourselves an ISO. Where's the ISO? Good question. On the desktop, EndeavourOS, out, EndeavourOS. We've built ourselves an EndeavourOS on ArcoLinux. Who would have thought that that would be possible? Not me. So templates, clone, EndeavourOS, full. We are going to check out the settings for processors. Yeah, looks good. And then choose the file on my desktop in the EndeavourOS out, EndeavourOS open start. This is what we've created. And it's okay that we see this, right? It's okay that we see this because it means you need to reboot, and that's all. And people start looking online, and what does this mean? What should I do? And I have to execute this thing. I think it says sbin vbox config or something, sroot, and try all kinds of things. It means reboot. So I'll cut the video into two pieces. All right.